So I may have gone a little insane and made a whole model rather than just an animated thing. This model is not super complex. The mouth forms are very basic, but it does have the head angle tracking, mouth form tracking, eyes and eyebrows. So I will show you how this model works. You'll load this bad boy, and let me show you the settings I have. He doesn't have a lot of custom configuration. Let's see. Generally, the default, you won't need to mess with a whole bunch. For this particular model, I think you could mess with body rotation. So body rotation is like when I lift my head, his shoulders kind of lift up, and when I lift and tilt down, the shoulders kind of go down. So this is his body movement. This up and down body movement, and then left and right body movement is the shoulders. So let's say you wanted him to stay down all the time. You could set this to not 0 actually. That's 10. You could set the max to 0 and the out to 0. And now the body movement doesn't move at all. Go ahead and leave it to the default. Just because I do like that up and down movement. Makes him a little bouncy. Doesn't have body Z movement. Eyes widen, we have the input, which is when your camera sees your eyebrow lifting. This is brow. And then the output is the eye form widen. And what that is the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid will lift up. So when I lift my eyebrows, his eyes kind of widen. We can kind of make that different. So my neutral expression, my eyebrows track at like 0.6. So I would set this probably just 0.7. And then as I slowly lift my eyebrows, that tends to open. Otherwise, if I set this all to 0, this is what it looks like without that. So when I move my eyebrows, nothing's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back to the default. Let's get rid of this. That's confusing. It's not using GGG. So this one's GGG, same thing, except it's based on mouth smile. So when my mouth smiles, you'll see here, my mouth tends to, in my neutral expression, it tends to float around 0.4. So I've put 0.5 here. But now when I smile, this value goes up because the camera's seeing the corners of my lips make a smile. And if you look closely, the lower eyelid goes up with it. It's subtle on this model. Let me set the max to 2. Yeah, it's super subtle on this model. Your main model has similar things. Your main model actually has a bunch more than just these. This model is very basic. The only other thing I really have set up for this model is we have drowsy eyes. I'll just set this to key 1. And what that is if you go to the expression editor, it kind of activates this parameter. This parameter's sole function is to lower the upper eyelids without interfering with the blink. So I can still blink because it's not using my, it's not using eye open. See, if I try to use eye open, then when I try to blink, it won't. So this one is just doing this. That way, if you're sleepy, and if you wanted to, you could even, add some eyebrow. Just to kind of soften the eyebrows. I'll go ahead and save that. But if you click expression editor, you can edit the two. This model is so simple, it only has 2 expressions. It has one for the drowsy eyes, which is currently just set to hotkey number 1. And then the other one is, it just turns the sheets off. That way, if you want to put like an image behind your model instead of this, because you'll have to zoom in really close to use this. So let's say you just wanted him to like be laying on a blanket. I can extend this artwork, but this you can turn it off. That way you can put him on like any object. If needed, I can extend this arm or try to draw an arm. But yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe you could use this for some cozy ASMR streams. I don't think I've seen anybody use a model that's quite like, I've seen the illustrations that are animated, but I haven't seen anybody that uses the illustration that also has tracking on it. So it's not pristine, not perfect, but you know, it'll work.